Yeah, except guess what? It doesn't work that way if we also consistently dominate those countries and the trade relations that we set up with people that have allegiance to capital in the same way and can take advantage of the lack of protection that those countries have to consider. Anyway, the stock market drop, Ross Perot's tariff speech, and government spending. I can't wait to hear. This is how we're gonna wrap up the move on to Tim Pool, because there is some fun stuff to walk through with the Tim Pool shit.
Oh.
What is this? A MAGA lady tried to interrupt the hands-off protest she got dealt with. He ain't doing enough if you ask me. She's like, no, we will not be hands off. I will put my hands on this microphone too. I am the weapon. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Hey, yo, what? That's amazing. Yo, he is the weapon, all right. God damn. Okay, respect. Dark woke, baby. Soy right versus dark woke. Soy right behaving like that one meme that conservatives love posting from from a decade ago at this point, and then dark woke behaving in dark ways. Screaming, crying lib lady turned into the MAGA lady, and the dark woke man with a fucking I am the weapon shirt smacked the fuck out of her. That's crazy.
Joe Rogan experience.
Let me know let me think about what I think about things instead of being inundated by all these.
Why are we laughing about hitting a woman? What? I don't know, because women are fucking equal. Women are equals. The what's crazier is you applauding it. Man, shut your bitch ass up, okay? I don't give a fuck, all right? Yeah, I'm gonna laugh at that. Suck my dick. It was funny, okay? Oh my God, why are you not considering the ethical implications of a fucking piglet fascist getting slapped by another fucking hog? Oh my God. Oh my God. Yes, women, don't you know that women are infallible? Don't you know that women are little babies all the time? Yeah, equal rights, baby. Fuck you mean? Defending assault is the issue. You're ridiculous. Oh my God, dude. Oh my God. Donald Trump is going to send you to the concentration camps, and you're over here being like, I can't believe one of the Donald Trump supporters got hit in the face and you're defending it. I don't care. It's funny. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm laughing. Assault is bad and wrong and morally unjustifiable, but in certain instances can be very funny. This was one of those instances. Shut the up. Okay. Is that good? Is that appropriate? Does that fit your narrow little moral confines that you're trying to develop here? God damn. Can't even have like a 3-second laugh here without chatters writing entire essays about the ethical considerations. Ugh. Sometimes you have to ignore your most autistic viewers law. I don't think those guys are fans. I think they're just like behaving this way. I don't think they're fans, and they're like horrified by my reaction. They're just haters that respond that way so they can clip it and then post it on a number of different like Twitter blue checkmark power farming accounts, and then they'll post it all over the subreddits to be like, Hasan laughs at a woman being brutally assaulted, and then most people will be like, well, I watched that video too and it was pretty funny, shut the fuck up. And then they'll go back to the drawing board, just like they did in the past when I laughed at that one cop shooting the other cop as it was trying to shoot a dog. Remember when they tried to do that? They still bring that up every now and then to be like, Hasan laughed at a cop getting shot, he's ruthless. Check logs and mod actions. You shut the fuck up. Haha. Trump. Vote Trump. Trump 2020 2020. Trump 2020 war. This streamer is a clown. I can't believe you would laugh at that. Oh, yeah. Again, soy right. There it is. Okay. Soy right. Elon Musk is coolest. Oh, I actually unbanned him because I wanted to pet the chud. All right. This is an old school. Hey, don't leave, chatter. We're not blocking you. We're not banning you. Free speech is alive and well here, baby. It really wasn't funny at all. I can't believe this. Okay, so here's how it usually works, okay? You have a dumb reactionary hog that does what they claim is usually virtue signaling, but this is one of those instances where they're virtue signaling, right? And then the autistic HasanAbi heads actually eat the bait. That's usually when it turns into a larger problem, because there are definitely some autistic HasanAbi heads in here who go, you know what? Maybe this is immoral and I will turn this into a major issue. Okay. And then there's also some charlatans in the chat who are diehard fans who just simply want me to react to them. Some of you have that dog in you, that little itch inside of your hearts where you go, ooh, I could say something. I could say something here right now, and that'll really piss him off. And some of you hold back on that, and others are too weak. No self-respect and no restraint. So you just come in and you just immediately start baiting, and you're like, you know what? That's right. It is update. You did that. Classic case every single time. Anyway, we love you. Hoglet chatter. I don't condone an assault on you. Okay, thank you.
These other people's thoughts constantly all day long, which is valuable. It's good to get other people's perspectives on things. I think it enriches you. But at a certain point in time, become captive to it. And I think there's just too many people that are captive to other people's thoughts.
I think so, too. That's why I'm so close-minded. And I really am. I'm truly close-minded, and I think you're open-minded. And
I try to be.
And I struggle with that because just letting people pour information into my head, you know, I just tend to avoid it.
Isn't this the you might be a redneck guy? He's like, right? Am I crazy?
I am engaged, you know, in that I do follow things closely, and not the stock market, but
he's one of them. He's not the plumber guy, but he's one of the redneck comedians.
Everything else, but you know, that's been a little bruiser.
Don't follow the stock market right now. It's so baffling. It's so crazy. Like, what is going on? Like, the whole world is mad at us. Trump's playing golf, and in between swings, he's on the phone with presidents of countries. We're gonna need more money.
Yeah, that's what somebody told me the other day. Like, is he playing checkers? Is he playing chess? He's playing golf.
He's playing golf.
That's
like, what does that mean? Everybody wants to think there's some like grand plan to it. Well, they think the grand plan is, look, you know, we remember back when was it the 92 elections when Ross Perot was in?
Mm-hmm.
So when Ross Perot laid out what happened, do you remember during that debate where Ross Perot laid out what happened with the tariffs? So that, like, when we try to sell stuff over there, we get a high tariff. It's like a 35% tariff, but they don't get tariffs when it comes over here. It's not the same. It's not like, you know, you guys, there's a tax on everybody if you want to sell your goods to encourage people to buy American products. If you want to sell your products in America, we get a tax. That tax goes to the grid or whatever the hell they're fixing with it.
Right.
And Ross Perot was laying it out like this is how all the jobs went to Mexico. Because have you ever seen that, Jamie? It's see if you can find it. It's a great speech. Because Ross
when he talked about the giant sucking sound.
Yes. You actually mentioned that earlier in the podcast.
That's what I was talking about.
Bro, in Ross Perot's time, what's really funny about people talking about shit that politicians were saying like 30 years ago, 40, is that the global trade scheme that we designed, the American government designed, was nowhere near as complex. Okay? Like, that is, like, he was right then, and so was Bernie Sanders, and so were all the trade protectionists. But the idea that, like, this is still applicable after those guys' voices were not heard, and American capital did what it wanted to do, like, the notion that, like, this is still the same dynamic here is so fucking stupid. That's not how this works.
Yes, that's it. That's funny. Did you just see that recently or something?
No, I just remember it.
Oh, boy. The Giants.
He would have been a great president.
I voted for him.
big ears. You know, he didn't come across
he was
well
also
on
an
TV.
Independent. He was an independent. And nobody was voting for independent. By the way, they changed the whole way debates work after this, because it used to be if you got 5% of the vote in the primary that you could be a part of the presidential debates. And that's not the case anymore. Or it was 5% in a poll. I forget what the number was that you had to reach, but it wasn't a high threshold. And then you could be a part of the debate. And they changed the shit out of that after this because Ross Perot tanked it. They thought HW was going to go for a second term.
Right.
And meanwhile, Ross Perot fucked it up because a lot of people that would have voted for Bush voted for Ross, and the people that were already going to vote for Clinton voted for Clinton, and Clinton won. But play this, Jim.
$13, $14 an hour for factory workers. And you can move your factory south of the border, pay $1 an hour for labor, hire a young 25. Let's assume you've been in business for a long time. You've got a mature workforce. Pay $1 an hour for your labor. Have no health care. That's the most expensive single element making a car. Have no environmental controls, no pollution controls, and no retirement. And you don't care about anything but making money. There will be a giant sucking sound going.
There it is, right there.
That's it.
If the people send me to Washington, the first thing I'll do is study that 2,000-page agreement and make sure it's a two-way street. One last point here. I decided I was dumb and didn't understand it, so I called a who's who of the folks who've been around it. And I said, why won't everybody go south? They said, we'll be disrupted. I said, for how long? I finally got them up for 12 to 15 years. And I said, well, how does it stop being disruptive? And that is when their jobs come up from $1 an hour to $6 an hour and ours go down to $6 an hour, then it's...
Yeah, except guess what? It doesn't work that way if we also consistently dominate those countries and the trade relations that we set up with people that have allegiance to capital in the same way and can take advantage of the lack of protection that those countries have to consistently keep labor costs down on top of the political destabilization that America engages in. So then it's great. You never actually have to adjust prices at all.
It's leveled again, but in the meantime, you've wrecked the country with these kinds of deals.
Jesus Christ,
He was
what
right.
a fucking smart man.
He was right, and that's
Yeah.
exactly what happened. American manufacturing collapsed. Yeah, and they did it all for money, and they did it all because they were greedy. They were already rich.
Right.
And if we could have just gotten those motherfuckers some ayahuasca,
Jesus Christ, they'd have smoothed the fuck out, man.
they would have said, oh, okay.
Yeah, let's be nice.
Let's make America great again.
I don't understand the trade war with Canada, because have you ever met a Canadian that had $35 in his pocket? No. They're all broke. They have $22.
Really?
And they'll buy you a beer. You know, I love
They're all
Canadians.
broke?
I've always, yeah, they're broke. They don't have any money up there.
How come they don't have any money?
Because it's socialism. You know, I think it's a great place. Don't you love Canada?
I love it. Well, they have
Yeah.
socialized medicine, but it's a capitalist society.
It is, but socialized medicine, and
Yeah.
it's expensive. So
What percentage of the Canadians paying?
What the fuck? This dude said something so stupid, even Joe Rogan had to correct him. I love when that happens.
Taxes.
So I don't know.
Let's find that out. What's the Canadian tax rate? I know it's higher than Americans.
I know mine's a bitch.
And when you go over there, you have to pay taxes too. Like if you do a gig,
Yeah, you have to pay taxes.
yeah, you pay Canadian taxes on your
and
gig.
you get paid in Canadian dollars. I'm not going up there much for shows,
Yeah.
but you know,
So here it is. Canada's top federal income tax rate is 33%, while the U.S. is 37%.
right?
However, when combining federal, provincial, state taxes, Canadians often face higher marginal rates across various income levels. That's interesting. That theirs is only 33%, ours is 37%. I thought ours was lower than theirs.
I thought ours was 40.
Well, it is when you get to a certain tax.
Talk to anyone in Europe about how much taxes Americans do end up paying, okay, at every bracket, and they will look at you like you're the most insane person of all time, because Americans do pay a decent amount in taxes. But guess where that goes? Bombing Yemen. The answer is always bombing Yemen. Okay? Someone has to bomb Yemen. Yemen is not going to bomb themselves. We have to bomb Yemen. Excuse me. And anyone that tells them that they can't do a genocide is gonna get bombed. Sorry, that's how it works. And the reality is, it's not that the American taxes are high, okay? In comparison to some countries, it's lower. In comparison to some countries, it's higher, but it's unexpectedly higher. It's what we get in return. At the local level, at the federal level, a lot of it goes back to either subsidies that then turn into some form or another stock buyback, or of course defense, bombing Yemen, or R&D. And at the local level, it goes to not bombing Yemen, but instead the domestic military force, which is the police. Sometimes also to Israel, ironically enough. Yes, some of your state taxes will literally go back to subsidizing Israel. How fucking insane is that? Look it up if you don't believe me.
Bracket, correct? Isn't it? Ours changes when you get higher, right?
Yeah, it does.
33% on the portion over $246,000. What's ours in terms of like the highest tax bracket? What's the highest U.S. Is it 37? That's what it is? What's really crazy to me is when people say the rich should pay more taxes. Okay, fine. But where do you think that's going? Where's that going? Where's the money going? Is the money going to the federal government? Do you think they're good at it? Do you think they're good at managing your money? Have you paid attention to all the shit Elon's fucking uncovered? 37% is when you make over $609,000 a year. That's you, motherfucker.
Yeah, well, that's